What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about the Batman suit, okay? Robert Pattinson's suit in the new film. Now, we've talked a little bit about, we did a theory video for this movie, and I had said, I'm not the biggest costume guy. I don't know if I would make videos on it. Over the past couple of days, we've gotten pictures of the Batmobile, which looks absolutely amazing. I was contemplating making a video only on that, but then we got more specific pictures, some really good, like high definition, 1080p pictures of him in his suit. And let me tell you, first, this is just my general impressions of it, and I do want to talk about, its connection to Arkham. I think it looks really, really good. I could see why some people may not like it, but me personally, I absolutely love what I've seen from these pictures. And I think, and this will lead right into Arkham, right? I think the biggest reason is, if this doesn't remind you of the Arkham games, I don't know what you're looking at. And I think, honestly, literally everybody talking about the suit, even when the stunt double was wearing it, was saying, like, doesn't this look, a lot of people were throwing it into, actually, this is like the Court of Owls, like, suit, like that kind of era suit that he would wear. So, like, even back like 2-3 weeks ago, any articles that I was reading regarding the suits all said, like, very Arkham inspired, or they were pulling from this direction, they were pulling from that direction. It's really cool to see. Now, we're going to be having a video in a couple days, depending on when you guys, I actually don't honestly know which day, but within the next couple days, I'm going to talk about the game involving the movie, like when the game would come out in regards to the movie. So we're going to be talking about that, but it couldn't be clearer to me that, like, these two, I don't know if they're talking to each other. I don't know if Matt Reeves is just a really big Arkham fan, but it's very clear that, like, the inspiration here, maybe not for the Batmobile. The Batmobile looks like differently inspired, but his suit definitely looks very Arkham Origins-y. I really think that, that's what it reminds me of. I think it looks very, very similar, and that's really, really cool to see. Honestly, it gives more, not like credibility, but like I feel like it gives more respect to that game in particular. Now, that's the game that reminds me most of. Maybe you guys think it reminds you of a different one. But to me, like that Arkham Origins one, especially because, again, like that, that literally is his origins. And now this movie is the same thing, right? He's only been Batman for like 2 or 3 years. There's so many villains like out there that he hasn't even like met yet. He hasn't come into contact. So it definitely, just the idea of what the story is reminds me of Arkham Origins. And if this truly is like the movie's version, we talked about it a long time ago. We talked about it almost a year ago, how Tyler and I believe, like, or we want this movie to lead into like an Arkham Asylum style thing. Of all these games that are getting movies, we talked about the Uncharted movie, all these games that are getting TV shows, with The Last of Us now getting the HBO show. One thing that I think could have totally worked was an Arkham, like, if you, and not just like take the game and do the movie. That's, I guess, basically what it is, but it's like you've been making Batman movies for however long, so many decades, right? Batman's been around for a very, very long time. And yes, they haven't made that many ever since the games came out, but it's like if you just did Arkham Asylum in your own style for a Batman, like you picked your own Batman, whatever, it could be Robert Pattinson, you did all that, and then you used the Arkham Asylum like storyline, maybe you could do your own thing too, and did that as a movie, that would be literally perfect, because there's such good material. And obviously those games definitely did things very, very different, right? They took some liberties and they did a lot of different things with even aside, if we just go the Rocksteady route. But it's just funny that this suit reminds me way, way, way more of Arkham Origins than any of those other suits. And again, that could just be because of literally the origin of Batman. But I love it. I think that's honestly the reason. Like, as soon as I see it, like bat ears, the armor plate, like his entire suit, even when we first saw, when Matt Reeves first did like that really, really quick like sneak peek of it, where it was like in all red, where you couldn't really see it, even that, and when people said like it's the bullet that killed his parents that he made into the bat symbol, even that definitely reminded me of like an Arkham Origins suit. So I think it's just really, it's just cool. I don't know how many times I can, I'll probably stretch it out as long as I can. I think it's definitely a good, maybe like not necessarily fan servicey. I don't think they looked at it and said, hey, people absolutely adored Arkham Origins, because I don't know how vast that fandom is that actually did that. But so I don't think it's necessarily fan service, but I just think it's a really cool nod that I really don't see how the suit wasn't inspired in some way or at least like somebody that worked on the suit, somebody with decision-making ability with that movie, how they didn't ever know about that game, how they didn't know about that suit. You know what I mean? I feel like that's very, very small to next to impossible that happened. I think it's way more likely that they did look at it and say, hey, you know what? This is something that we have our own ideas, and this suit like does like we want to try and mimic this suit, but in a different way. And I just feel like, and not just because it's Arkham Origins, but because it's Arkham. That's what I've been saying every time I see these. Anytime I see Robert Pattinson, or anytime I see any of the stunt doubles, any of that stuff in these suits, I always text Tyler and I say like it looks very Arkham-y. That's my phrase for it. And I think that I feel like a lot of people, again, I've seen articles, I'm sure people on social media, if you see those suits, how do you not think Arkham? And again, I think that helps the movie because people are very much more interested. And I don't know if they're more interested because of the suit, but I think they're more willing to say like, hey, maybe they care about the games, or maybe they, I don't know. I don't even know what people are necessarily thinking Matt Reeves is thinking, but I feel like it does say something about him, or say something about the direction of the movie, that we have a bit more confidence, basically. I feel like it gives us a bit more confidence. That's probably the right word. And again, it probably also helps the games because you're relaunching Batman, you're redoing, and we'll talk about this in that other video, you're relaunching him, you're starting over, right? Who knows what kind of world you can build and what other superheroes you can build from this world. Even if they do want to just keep it as Batman, still you're building that. And then meanwhile, in the game sphere, you have Batman returning with whatever the new Batman game is. You have Rocksteady making whatever they're making, but you're expanding your DC universe in the games, and then basically in the movies, at least specifically with Batman, you're restarting, right? You're rebooting it, and you're doing your own tale. So they work very hand in hand. I think it's a very exciting time to be around for either of them, and I think because there is such big, and I really do believe this, there is such big crossover because of just what the Batman brand is. And because of that crossover, it's like, hey, if you've liked the sound of the movies for a long time, maybe you didn't know about, and I do assume this, a lot of people don't know about the game, especially people that are into this movie. I don't necessarily know if they know about the game, because the game, while yes, it's like gaming's worst kept secret, they still haven't announced it yet. So the majority of the public probably doesn't know that Arkham game, or if it's just a Batman game, whatever, they don't know that game exists. So they're excited for the movie, and then all of a sudden this game comes out, and it's kind of rebooting the same thing. It's trying to do what the movie's doing, but it's in its own way. And not just that, but there's other studios out there that are working on other games, all this kind of stuff, and they're building a DC universe on, consoles, or just in gaming in general, PC as well. And people, I think, are definitely going to get behind that. So I think it's good. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose. I don't know if people are talking to each other, like Warner Bros. In general has this big plan to have the movie kind of mimic the suit in the way, or then the game, when the game gets shown. That'll be an interesting thing to me, is if the game reflects in any way, any small detail, the movie. You know what I mean? Like if it's kind of like, if you've liked the movie so far, you're going to like this game too, because it's got some of the elements, obviously very, very different. You're going to be playing it, but it's going to, it'll remind you a little bit of the movie. Stuff like that. I feel like that could definitely be a plan behind the scenes. It would be very strategic thinking. I don't think Warner Bros. Montreal thought of it. It had to have been Warner Bros. In general, but definitely I'm liking literally everything I've seen so far from the Batman movie. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? What do you think about the suit? What do you think about the Batmobile? I guess the Batmobile just looks really awesome. I don't really have any other. Looks very like not anything like we've seen before. I'll give them originality for sure in terms of movies. I'm a big fan of that. Can't wait to see it, in action, if it is in any action. But let me know what you guys think of both those things in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed and have that bell icon hit. If you guys want me to talk more about the Batman movie, definitely let me know. I can do more theory videos. I'll keep up with the news if there's anything big that occurs with the Batman movie. And then once we get closer and closer with trailers and stuff like that, we'll definitely cover it even more on this channel. Okay, so thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you all on the next video.